And so what makes simulation most exciting is when students realize that being friendly is not effective nursing care. I need to bring my understanding of nursing science to the situation at hand and use my ability to develop a patient relationship to effectively help that client move forward.
Wow, Stephanie, you've just given me the best demonstration. You know, in my research, we found that students who do not learn skill of engagement with the patient or the clinical problem do not go on to become experts. And so you've just given me a real insight in how to better teach skill of engagement, because when, and this is why skill of involvement, it's very different for being a lawyer, if they, not kidding, it's different for lawyers, it's different for physicians, it's different for engineers. And by the way, they don't teach engineers very good relational, interpersonal, but they need it, you know, especially cross-culturally. But to teach the skill of engagement in nursing is 1 foot almost inside the family or the intimate sphere of the patient's life, and the other foot out here in the outer sphere, so that you bring a fresh perspective. So how not to get enmeshed. There are many wrong moves, and how to stay focused on the fact that it's not about you, it's about the patient. This is such a sweet, authentic spot, as my friend Vicki Leonard would say, because it's not about you, it's not about the student, it's about how you meet the situation and how you learn to meet the situation. And I know in my career in nursing, I never mentioned death or dying for the first 5 years. My anxiety about that was off the scale, and no one had ever taught me to notice that or become comfortable with it until I had a seminar, thank God, with Jean Quint-Biddleil, that marvelous person in care for the dying. And so I think the consciousness raising is such an intricate part of the skill of engagement. I had a student who was going to interview women who had lost a pregnancy and were grieving. And then when we were training for the interview, I said, so what would you do if the patient cried, or the participant cried? So I just closed the interview up and I would leave. I said, oh, wait a minute.
You did a little coaching.
How did your family handle crying? Well, we just didn't do it in public. But I mean, it does, because what you have to do is go back to how the family managed that. Because you're dealing with learning a set of skill of engagement so different than the familial background. And that's what I think the challenge is. It's so interesting, and so that's what makes your world grow so much larger when you're doing nursing care, I think.